Have you ever wondered what it would be like to trust someone completely, even when everyone else thought you were wrong? This is the story of Noah, a man who chose faith over fear. Long ago, after God created the world, people became selfish, cruel, and violent. They stopped caring for one another and ignored what was right. Everywhere God looked, he saw people hurting each other. The beautiful world he had made was filled with sadness. But among all those people, there was one man who lived differently. His name was Noah. Noah loved God. He tried to do what was right, even when no one else did. He was honest, kind, and faithful. Because of Noah's faithfulness, God chose him for a very special mission. One day God spoke to Noah. He said, "I am going to send a great flood to cover the earth because people have become so wicked. But I will save you and your family. Build a large ark because I will protect you." An ark was not a small boat. It was a giant wooden ship, big enough to carry Noah's family and many animals. God gave Noah detailed instructions. He told him exactly how big to make the ark and how to build it. Noah listened carefully and began the enormous task. Day after day, Noah worked on the ark. People watched him. They laughed at him. They made fun of him. "Why are you building such a huge ship?" they asked. "There isn't even any rain." But Noah did not stop. Even though he couldn't see the future, he trusted God completely. Years passed and finally the ark was finished. Then God told Noah to bring the animals into the ark. Something amazing happened. Animals came from every direction. Large elephants, tiny mice, graceful deer, playful monkeys, roaring lions, gentle sheep, colorful birds, and countless other creatures. They came two by two, just as God had commanded. Noah, his wife, his three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives all entered the ark with the animals. Then something incredible happened. God himself closed the door of the ark. The people outside still didn't believe anything would happen. But soon dark clouds filled the sky. Rain began to fall. At first it was gentle, then it became heavier and heavier. The rain did not stop. For 40 days and 40 nights, rain poured from the sky. Water rose higher and higher until it covered the land, the hills, and even the highest mountains. The ark floated safely on the water while everything outside was covered by the flood. Inside the ark, Noah and his family cared for all the animals. They waited patiently, trusting that God would keep his promise. After many months, the rain stopped. Slowly, the floodwaters began to go down. One day, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, but Noah didn't rush outside. He waited for God's timing. First, Noah sent out a raven. It flew back and forth over the waters. Later, Noah sent out a dove, but the dove found no place to land and returned to the ark. A week later, Noah sent the dove again. This time, the dove came back carrying a fresh olive leaf in its beak. Noah smiled. The olive leaf meant that plants were growing again and the floodwaters were disappearing. 1 week later, Noah released the dove once more. This time, it did not return. The earth was becoming a safe home again. Finally, God told Noah, "Come out of the ark with your family and all the animals." The door opened and everyone stepped onto dry ground. The animals spread out across the earth once again. Noah's first action was not to build a house or gather food. Instead, he thanked God. He built an altar and worshiped him, grateful for God's protection through the storm. Then God made a wonderful promise. He said he would never again destroy the whole earth with a flood. As a sign of this promise, God placed a beautiful rainbow in the sky. Whenever people see a rainbow, they can remember God's promise, his faithfulness, and his mercy. The story of Noah is about much more than a flood. It reminds us that doing the right thing is not always easy. Sometimes people may laugh at us or misunderstand us. But faith means trusting God even when we cannot see what lies ahead. Noah obeyed God when no one else did. He stayed faithful during years of hard work. He trusted God through the storm. And in the end, God kept every promise he made. The rainbow still reminds us today that God is faithful, that hope follows even the darkest storms, and that trusting him can lead us safely through life's greatest challenges. And that's why the story of Noah's Ark continues to inspire people around the world, thousands of years later. God bless you. Thank you for watching.